Hello and welcome to One on One with me, your host Juliet Esinam. In the previous sessions, I got to speak with some of the leaders here on campus, and then I got to speak with the overall leader, which is the VC. For today's session, I'll be speaking to a former SRC president who has actually completed. He was an interesting president during his tenure, and so after this break, I'll be having a conversation with him. Remember to like and share the video. We'll be right back.
Yo, bro. Bro, what's up? You at the hungry? Why the work, sir? Why you get it? I'm at the hungry. My break crumble.
Me, I've taken some Predocale ice cream in the morning, so I'm pretty cool.
What's Predocale ice cream? What's that?
Oh, you know what? Alex, go to the fridge, bring Predocale ice cream and Sobolo. So this ice cream and Predocale Sobolo, this is the coconut ice cream. If you take this one, Charlie, never go hungry. You can go. You can work 24/7.
Make a try. It's so nice.
It's so fantastic.
So why we figure something from?
Oh, their number did the thing top. You just call them. Predocale ice cream is one of the finest ice cream in the country. Wherever you are, just call their numbers and they'll deliver to you. Predocale, I record them.
Welcome back. So this former acting SRC president I was speaking about is in the person of His Excellency Harris Richard Alifodzi. I got it right.
Yes.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Juliet, for having me. And thank you also to the team at US Based TV.
Okay, so tell us something about you. Small introduction.
Okay, thank you. I am Harris Richard Alifodzi.
Okay.
But if you go anywhere, you ask about Harris Richard Alifodzi, they might not know me.
Okay.
Because many people know me as Rich Keys.
Check. I also know you.
Yes. So that is the name that I'm mostly known by. I am a young man from a family of 10. And I actually happen to be a last baby of my mother and my father. Yes, and actually started life in Nigeria, through Togo, and then finally Ghana. Because of my parents' work, they had to be transferred from country to country. Yes, but I'm actually Ghanaian. So that's basically about me. I attended, the school I mainly attended was l'Institut Zamenhof in Lome.
Okay.
Yes, that's where I wrote my BEC also. So it's not the English kind of BEC, the Francophone type. So after that was in 2009. And then I came to Ghana to continue with the senior high school here. And I attended one of the best schools in Ghana.
Tell us.
Though if I mention it, they wouldn't know, but yes, it's in my view, it's the best school in Ghana.
Okay.
That's St. Mary's Seminary Senior High School.
I know, don't worry.
Yes.
I know.
We are the best senior high school. So that's the school I attended. I did science, 4 years batch, I completed 2013. That's basically about me. I also work at Superbet Ghana as a cashier for 3 years.
Okay.
Before coming to US.
Well, you have an interesting background.
Yes.
So, when you say you're Ghanaian, by what? Ghanaian by?
By nationality, both parents are Ghanaians.
Okay.
Yeah, my father is a Ghanaian and my mom is also a Ghanaian. Just that their work took them out of Ghana.
So by birth you are?
A Ghanaian.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes,
nice.
but I hold dual citizenship.
You hold?
Dual citizenship.
Okay, with which country?
I am sharing it with Togo.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I'm a francophone and an anglophone.
Since you spoke about your schooling, I know that means you can speak French.
Yes, I speak French more than I speak English.
That's nice.
Yes, I spent more years learning in French than in English. So basically, even in the house, speaking with my mom, interacting with my dad, we speak French.
Okay.
Yeah, so most of the time, we speak French.
I'm wondering how it was like when you came to school here.
I was lucky.
Okay.
Because I didn't know that we would be coming back to Ghana to continue. As I said, work could take you anywhere. Could take my parents anywhere. But I know the francophone attach some seriousness to English. So the 4 years they do 4 years in JHS. So the 4 year sessions in JHS, they did English throughout. And that's the English that I learned that I came to continue my senior high school here with. So as I said, in Togo, if you don't pass English, we're not going to senior high school in Togo. The same applies for PE and all. If you don't pass those, you're not going anywhere. So just in our minds, we had to attach that seriousness just to pass our courses, and that actually helped me to come and integrate into the Ghanaian system and speak English.
When you talked about it, I remembered my French teachers, and when I was coming there, I was wondering how come the French teachers are able to communicate well in English, and we who don't take the French so seriously.
The seriousness attached to the learning of English. Because if you're in a country like Togo, and know that your neighbors, especially Ghana, and maybe Ivory Coast, you take Benin out because Benin is kind of the same financial power as Togo.
Okay.
Look at Ghana and Nigeria, you know that these two countries are places I could end up in. You attach yourself to learning English. The reason why Ghanaians, I think, don't like learning French is because most Ghanaians don't see themselves ending in Togo or ending in Burkina Faso or in Ivory Coast. Okay. So that's why they don't attach seriousness to the learning of French. But you could end up in France.
Exactly. I want to end up in France.
Then you have to attach seriousness to learning French.
Oh, and maths, right? You guys know maths, man.
Yes, because, in our JHS setup in Togo, we don't do maths combined. We do algebra and geometry.
You've split
We
it.
split it, different subjects. So we attach a lot of seriousness to it. And it will interest you to know that even in the JHS, we learned physics, chemistry, biology, and then we did essay writing, we did English, and then algebra, geometry. And yes, chemistry also. I don't know if I've already mentioned that. So we learn all those subjects from the JHS.
Wow.
And detailed ones, just like the way a science student will be taught here in senior high school in Ghana. So I think that's why many people who have gone through the French system have that strong background in mathematics.
Yeah. Like it's serious. Okay, so moving away from your life before you so you were here for 4 years.
Yes.
How was your time here on campus, like campus life, in terms of transportation, the system of moving, and then hostels, where to stay, and I also heard about the feeding program you guys had. Talk to us about them.
Well, coming to US, I came to US 2016, and that was after a rigorous selection session. We had to apply first, and then also go through interview.
Okay.
Yes, and I don't know if the people currently are still holding interviews for the various schools, though.
I think so.
That's still
for certain schools.
For certain schools, okay. I think then all the schools were holding interview sessions, and it was a very rigorous one. You will come and meet a panel of 6 people, sometimes 6, sometimes 8, and they would ask you questions or throw questions at you. So the selection process was actually a rigorous one. I remember during our matriculation, the VC stated that about 5,000 people applied, and they only chose about, I think, 842 of us.
Wow.
Yes, so we were that lucky to be part of the people who go through US. And then when we came to level 100 also, we had 2 buses who were conveying students, and the buses were owned by the university. So we were not paying transport fare for some time. Yes, and those of us, and we were also using hostels like the Davel hostels. We were using Davel hostels, and we were also using the Trafalgar hostel, and then Jim Fuga. So I used to be in Davel hostel block. I think I was in block G for George. I was in block G, and it was a nice experience. We had the chance to use the green bus. I don't know if you know the US green bus. That's the air-conditioned bus.
Okay.
Yes, people in Jifuga were using the you know already, the white one that they pack them like sardines. But we were the DBs.
Okay.
Like you as DBs because by virtue of the hostel in which you were staying. And also when we came, we had the opportunity also to be fed at least once every day for the first semester. But it wasn't free. We paid for it in our school fees.
Okay. How was the food?
Well, the food was manageable. Sometimes also you go and there will be no food, so you exchange your coupon for drink.
Okay.
The malt and nutri snacks, and then that is basically it. And then when I come to my political experience, I will tell you why maybe there's no longer feeding in the US.
Okay, sure.
Yes, because I played a part in it. And also our lectures. I think we were the first batch that started using permanent campus as it is.
Okay.
So when we came, permanent campus was very neat. everything was working, the air conditioning, the auditorium, it was classy. It was classy, and we were the Japan babies because we came in the first year
Japan babies. I heard about
for the vice chancellor, so we were treated quite well. I think it was until some were getting close to exam that the university said they could no longer afford the buses, and they had to go and bring in Metromas to take over the shuttle system in US. And also, I think at that time also because the university was young, for the lectures, I think we had few lecturers.
Okay.
So you have one lecturer who is teaching various subjects, different subjects. But all along, as we kept on growing in the years, we realized that there was transformation. Things were getting better and better until we completed.
Talking about hostels, you mentioned that you were at Dave, and you were a nursing student.
Yes.
And right now, Dave is kind of like, I mean, other schools are there, but not much. It's usually medical students who are there. Did you have to move out after the first?
Yes.
Yeah.
As for that one, it's constant for all the other core programs except medicine.
Okay.
But those days in Dave, we had, in fact, from my hostel, we had variety. Almost all the programs were represented in the hostel, and that also afforded us the opportunity to build links among ourselves.
Yeah.
So even though after level 200, we step out into our various, and mostly you might be tempted to rent with someone who's your course mate, but you still had friends who were doing physio, medicine, PA, dietetics, speech and language, and all.
Okay, that's nice. So I think you spoke about the transport, feeding. Okay, then now let's move to your political journey.
Okay.
Political journey, as in from childhood. If you were really interested in politics and when it started and everything.
Okay. Before then, I forgot one experience.
Okay.
I happened also to have lost one of my roommates whilst I was in school in US.
Oh.
Yes, when we were in level, I think then we were in level 200 first semester, or I think level 300 first semester. 300. That's 2018.
So you knew him from 100 to 300?
Yes. In fact, we were in group studies from level 100, and we happened to have rented together. We were 3 in a room. And in fact, it was a serious one amongst all of us. We used to call him Professor. And then also, it was unfortunate that he left us that way. That actually really, really affected me. It took a lot of counseling and for me to overcome that period of time, also whilst I was in school. And the mere fact that I came to meet the lifeless body in our room, it was not something that was pleasant at all. So that has also been one of the experiences I had whilst I was in school that I will never forget.
Exactly.
I really thought life wasn't fair because for the investment he made. So that's basically it.
Did you know what caused his death?
Well, I can't say for a fact, but he fell ill, which was like not something that was serious.
Okay.
On a Monday, and by the Thursday morning, he had expired. Yes, it's one of those things that you don't expect that can hitting hard at you whilst you're on campus. But it's all part of the experiences.
That's strong.
It has made me, yes, it has made me tough.
Yeah, I guess you can actually help someone come out of such situations that you faced.
Of course.
Exactly.
Because it took me about 8 months to come into terms with it, and throughout those 8 months, I couldn't sleep alone. I couldn't even go about alone. Nothing. The mother roommate had to follow me wherever I was going.
Sorry about that.
It's one of those things.
Okay. Yes. So now, political
life. Well, growing up, how do we say it, holding positions. All my mind was about Christianity. Yes, I used to be when I was in St. Mary's, I used to be the organizer for the charismatic fellowship. So that was what my mind was on. I didn't know anything about leading. So in senior high school, I was neither a class prefect, as we used to call them, nor a prefect when I got to the senior years.
Sorry. If you were really into the Christian something, you didn't go for any position in terms of that?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I was just happy being organizer.
Organizer is position?
No, I was selected. I was appointed. To be organizer.
Okay.
Yes, so, and that was just that. That was what my aim was, or all that my mind was on. Christianity, playing a role in church. Also looking at my banner, I'm a keyboardist in church, so
Check.
yes,
Rich kids.
those everything was about church, until I got to US. In fact, even when I was coming to US, my aim was to come to US, join a vibrant campus ministry, and eventually become maybe a keyboardist in one of them. So that was what my focus was on.
Which of them did you join?
When I came to US, I joined the First Lab.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then also after joining First Lab, when God wants you to become something, He will bring the opportunities your way. So what happened was, I think one day I was sitting in the class, Com Skills class with, I think, Dr. Glover now.
Yes, he taught me.
He taught you also, yes. And he said he needed a course rep for his program.
Okay.
And it was like the class should appoint someone, else he will appoint. And you see, because we came fresh, nobody wanted to commit themselves or himself or herself. So then he said, "Who is that guy sitting down there?" He pointed at me. I said, "Come, you'll be my course rep." So after some years, I asked him why. He said, when he saw me, I looked responsible.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe you want to say I look older than the people in the class.
Okay.
Yes,
but you usually look serious.
Me?
Yeah, you're a nice person. I don't know much, but whenever I see you around, you're like, got something to do. Like you're serious.
Yeah, I think it's a defense mechanism.
Okay.
It's a defense mechanism. I've come to adapt that way, and it also helps me avoid a lot of troubles. So that's why I'm kind of always I have something doing. I like to multitask. I don't like to be alone. When you're alone, some thoughts can come into your head. So that's basically why. So when we came to level 100, after joining First Lab and studying, I was playing keyboard there. There was a day prior to our matriculation. I think we matriculated on 20th of October, 2016. Somewhere in 19, we had a meeting at the Trafalgar Auditorium. I think it's now called Professor
Kofi Anido
Auditorium. Okay. And we were told that we were supposed to compulsorily buy blazers. Before, the school had a blazer then. The blazer is the upper part of the coat.
Okay.
That we were supposed to all buy for matriculation. If you didn't buy it, we were not going to be giving matriculation gown. So strangely, when the master left, or the one who came to deliver them left, I stood up and I told my colleagues that in the university nothing is compulsory. So we are not buying it. And no one will be victimized. That actually gave confidence to a lot of people in my year group. And we didn't buy. So the next day they gave us a gown and we went to do our matriculation. So that was the first point at which people realized that this guy could be a leader. And moving forward also, from that, there was a time I was sleeping in the hostel, I think the same early November that year, 2016. And one very tall gentleman amongst us, Karim, he used to have a motorbike. I think he was the only person there who had a motorbike in my year group. He came to me and was like, they were selling forms for presidency for the hostels. So even if I wouldn't go, he would buy the form for me. I was like, okay. And he bought the form and I contested against my course rep then. Yes. And I won by 78%.
Wow.
Yes. And so that was a kick, that kick started actually my political career. I was student politics on campus. So it was not something that I planned for. It took me by surprise. But I think my training back in the house and maybe as an organizer for a charismatic fellowship, convincing people, having to go take some responsibility from time to time, helped me to push through that to other appointments.
That's beautiful. So, deciding to not buy the blazers was the start of your controversial.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll get this. How did you become the acting SRC president?
Okay, so I was a president for the hostels for a year, an academic year, and per the constitution, we were supposed to be part of the parliamentarians. We were supposed to be part of the General Assembly.
Okay.
That was campus specific. Okay. Because US has a lot of campuses. When it comes to who has this General Assembly, and then who also has this General Assembly, but the overall decision-making body of the student body is a parliament.
Okay.
So as a hostel president, you're automatically a member of the General Assembly. So getting to the end of our academic year, the SRC president then, who was His Excellency Payo Safani, decided to appoint me as Intelligence and Student Affairs Committee chairperson,
Okay.
which made me a parliamentarian. So I was the only person in my year batch that was appointed as a parliamentarian that year, that served in parliament. So after that appointment, so as a member of parliament for that first year, we fought for the refunding of the school fees that were due those of us who were going to level 200, because when we were coming, the bill that we were given was more than what we were supposed to pay because of the utility bills. So we fought for the refund of that money, and also I sat on a lot of committees. So when he was stepping out of office and His Excellency Derek Asari was stepping into office, I think he advised him that the role I've played so far, that he shouldn't let me go and become dormant. So His Excellency Derek decided to appoint me as a school fees committee chairperson. Okay. So that was my second year in parliament, entry to level 300. So as a school fees committee chairperson also, I sat in school fees meetings that year, and we negotiated some of it. So it gave me confidence, a lot of confidence, because from level 100, I started sitting in meetings with the VC, the Pro Vice Chancellor, registrar and all. So I wasn't someone who was afraid of authority. I think deep within me also, I'm quite radical. And I happen to have made friends on campus also who are the same mindset, like the likes of Yebo Isaac. I don't know if you know him, Yoki. He served as NUG's president. I think he's a medical student in final year currently in the US. And so when we were of one mind, we could risk our certificates for whatever course of action. When it comes to our Luther, we were there, and we were the brain behind our Luthers. So as a school fees committee chairperson, after fighting for the school fees, we also one critical aspect was that we demanded the breakdown of the school fees, especially for the various items that we were paying. They should itemize it, so we know what was due students. So when we are writing a letter, you have a stance. You can say that per this part of the school fees, we are demanding this. So getting close to the end of the tenure of His Excellency Asari, Derek, there were a lot of litigations around the SRC elections. So they couldn't organize election for that very academic year. Okay. So the parliament decided to appoint certain individuals that would hold the fort and organize elections the subsequent semester. And my name came up, and they unanimously approved me as the acting SRC president, together with the likes of Maxwell Otumkate as treasurer and Portia Ando as secretary. So that's how I became the acting SRC president.
Okay, so when I came to this school, I came to meet him as the acting SRC president. I was a bit confused. I was like, why is he acting? And then you were acting, so I didn't get to see the main person till you later handed over. Yeah. Okay, so from what you said, they couldn't organize an election. That's how come you became the acting.
Yes.
But now, we have an acting. I think you know the story, right?
Yes.
The fact that they actually held elections, but then there's this court issue that's been happening for some time now. Yeah. What do you think about all these court stuffs like?
You know, surprisingly, when you was changed into the new, you as SRC changed into the new constitution, we were using an old constitution. Okay. So when we changed to the federal system, I happened to have been the first person who acted in that dispensation. Okay. And so we found it very, very tough. We had it very, very tough, especially with the Dean of Student and the Stand Registrar Student Affairs. There were a lot of things we wanted to do that they actually held us back from doing because we were acting. So it brought about a lot of issues. And you know, as I said, I'm not somebody who easily gives up. Especially if I know the rules of engagement. No matter who you are, I will tell you what I feel. So we fought for a lot of things. The fact that when Parliament is handing over to someone to act, Parliament cannot determine the tenure in which the person should stop acting. Okay. That was the first thing. So you can't appoint executives that when we appoint you, they should come and organize election in the subsequent semester. Because that was already violating the constitution. Our constitution was clear that elections should be organized in the second semester. So if you have not been able to organize the election in the second semester due to litigations, whoever is appointed as acting will act for that year. That's one thing we push for. The second thing we pushed for also was that if in case of contention for any of the portfolios, the election should go forward for the other portfolios that are not in contention, so that whichever portfolio is being contended for, we will appoint an acting person. So it wouldn't happen again that we'll have acting president, acting treasurer, acting secretary. We can have substantive treasurer, substantive secretary, and an acting president. Any of them. So there wouldn't be need to come and organize an election for just one portfolio. So these are some of the battles that we actually undertook when we were in office. So I think the current crop, I think now we have only an acting president. I think he's enjoying the fruits of that, so that nobody will come and tell him to organize elections for and spend a lot of money just over one portfolio. When the court resolve whatever case is there, whoever needs to give some money or has to settle somebody, they settle it. And while the SRC also is going about its duty or is functioning without any break. So that is basically what I would say has been the impact we made from our tenure as acting. And so I'm very happy with what is going on currently, that the current president has been given the full power to operate. Even though he's acting. When we were told we couldn't organize SRC week.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because we were acting. We were told we couldn't undertake any project. We couldn't make complete projects that were already ongoing. And so they had actually forced us to use most of the monies that were in the SRC coffers for payment of debts. Some of the debts that were there from previous administration. So that was mostly the things that we did. But we also made sure that at least when it came to school fees negotiation, we were very tough on them. We achieved results. It was during my tenure that we asked that there was about 2,000 Ghana cedis reduction in fees for sandwich students. Yes, because it was just at one of the meetings that we looked at the discrepancies across schools. We realized that people in Sonam were paying a certain amount of money for as teaching, and people in SAS were paying 2,000 Ghana cedis more than that money. So we asked what was the rationale behind it, and they couldn't give us any rationale. So they had no other option than to reduce that part also. We also pushed for the breaking of the field trip and practicals. So actually, then we had money allocated for field trips and had money allocated for practicals. So that when we are going for intrasem, because there was a policy that was coming that people who were in Sonam then should start paying for their intrasem practicals. So when they broke down that very component, it actually catered for all those things. So we actually did a lot, even though our hands were tied in a certain way. We did a lot.
Okay. Oh, that's really nice. So from how you've spoken, I realized why you were known to be a rebel president, or say controversial. But talking about that, what are some of the things that you think you did that actually were controversial?
Well, starting from my days in the hostel, you know, I'm not a fun person. I'm not a person that likes spending money on fun.
Oh, okay.
So, as a president, you wouldn't expect me to organize, let's say, SRC week, and then go and invite an artist and pay the artist 10,000 Ghana cedis. Even 5,000 Ghana cedis would be hard for me. It would be hard for me to approve.
Okay.
If it were left to me alone. So in the hostel, I remember the other hostels were using their monies for their hostel weeks. They were going for pool party, artist night, bobo night, and all. And then I called my members and I told them, look, we can't use money for fun. You have to do something that tomorrow, even if you leave the hostel and we come back, you will be remembered for it.
Okay.
They didn't understand it at first.
Okay.
They wanted to have a party, dinner, and all. I said no. We are not doing that. So, so the controversy that started from there. So we use the money to buy gym equipment.
Gym?
Yes.
That's smart.
For the hostels. From my hostel, Block Gym there. So we were the only hostel that had gym equipment. I think it's still there currently. I think they have sent it now to the down floor of Block D.
Okay.
But we bought it with our hostel dues. And then also from there, I told you about the Blazer issue already. And other controversies that also arose were during the school fees negotiation. As I told you, for 3 years, I've served on the board that university board that negotiated school fees. I will tell the management they didn't find it easy there. So in fact, even when I was appointed as the SRC president acting, a lot of people had issues with it.
Yeah.
Because they thought that this is a guy who was hard to work with. Prior to that, one thing that happened in the 2019-2020 batch was that academic year, was that management came with a resolution about months to the second semester examination that they were not going to feed students who were doing their vocational training again. And we wrote a lot. When we heard that, myself and the Yuki, we started drafting letters, petitioning management. They were not giving us any favorable answer. So we served them with a notice of demonstration. And then when they received the letter, they thought we were joking. So they were like, we should go to the university handbook and see the steps that we take for demonstration. So we went into it and realized we had to notify the police. So we wrote to the police.
Hey.
Yes. And we went to meet the divisional commander.
Okay.
Had a meeting with him, told him that we want to embark on demonstration. So and so day. We scheduled a Monday for the demonstration, and UAS goes black. So the Friday we organized UAS goes black. So they saw it. We received a letter from the go ahead from the police. We told management that we had to go ahead. There was a lot of meetings. They called myself a Yoki. There were threats. Some days met us, but we said we were going to organize either you feed us while we go for the vocational training, or we are going to do a LUTA. So I think on the very day that we were supposed to do the demonstration, VC asked that he will meet the student body, which hadn't happened before. So he came to auditorium, he came to speak his mind, told us that he came to give a breakdown and said that we were still not going to feed us. But the long and short of the matter was that we pushed until management said, okay, look, we are going to feed you. Or this will be the last year of feeding you. So the day I thought I was approved by Parliament as the acting president was a day VC met us and told us that we should hold on a demonstration. They will feed us when we go to the field. So that was one of the instances that the controversies. Among there were a lot. A few, some of them in Sonam. I was in Sonam, so I was very, very peculiar about issues of Sonam. There was a time that they were taking for the intake. They were not doing. They said they won't do interview of the applicants. And I wrote to them. I told them that look, they carry this position in which we are. You can't say somebody has passed WASI, so you are admitting the person. It is not fair. Some of us were interviewed, and so we justified our inclusion in US. So why don't you give the opportunity to people who are coming in also to justify? But somebody might have gone to maybe a deprived senior high school, made the grade. Somebody also gone to a school in Accra, made the grades. It's not the same. The input is not the same.
Yeah.
So when they are coming into your institution, you give them equal opportunities. So those were part of some of the controversies about rich kids when I was on campus.
Interesting.
Some of them are forgotten, but yes, basically that.
Okay, so now, what do you think about the SRC now compared to your time? Just what do you think about it, and maybe any improvements? Then also, what do you do now that you've completed school?
SRC now, well, you are lucky you have a pastor acting as
Yay.
SRC president, and I'm hopeful that he'll be one of the people who also not like to spend a lot of money inviting an artist. I'm very peculiar about that. You see, UAS is a young university, and our SRC is not independent, even though we are supposed to be. When you go into even our accounting system, if it's for even small amounts, you have to write to Dean of Students, you have to seek approval. Sometimes SRC Parliament can approve a bill or a budget. You go to Dean of Students and he just takes a pen and crosses through and approve whatever figure he feels like approving. We have to move from that place. That's why I was happy with the Apollo administration for buying or securing a badge for the SLC. And so I think the SRC is moving forward. And also saying that some of the things we fought for especially for the acting positions, portfolios, that at least you be allowed to stay for a whole academic year and all those. And seeing that it's working, I think SRC is moving forward. Now SRC has an SRC cloth.
It's
Our
nice.
time there was no. In fact, I actually handed over. I think I was in my last year going out before I was sent the cloth. So the SRC has improved. You have the likes of US-based TV who have come forth doing extremely well. So the student body is moving forward, and I tell people that I'm very proud to have come to US. You know, everybody takes going to Legon common these days.
Yes.
But to come from such an university, where this university is headed the next 5 years, 10 years.
Right.
When you stand somewhere and say I've been to US, it's a whole swagger together. Even to say that I was once as president there.
Check.
Yes. So the school is moving forward. Now I've finished school. I completed, as I said, 2020. I've done my national service in the hospital, but I decided to do another lane. So I'm currently a political communicator for one of the political parties.
I guess your dual, the language has
Also,
to do with it.
Well, not really.
Oh, okay.
Because I communicate mostly in Ewe. Mostly in Chi, in English and Ewe.
Did you say Chi? Can you speak Chi?
I can speak Chi, but I can't communicate. I can't do politics in Chi.
But you can like converse.
Oh yes, I can. Oh, I can speak.
You're a language person. That's nice.
Am I? I'm trying my best.
What?
I'm trying my best.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so I now communicate for one of the political parties. I don't know if you want me to mention.
You don't mention.
I shouldn't mention.
Okay.
Yes.
Finally, tell us about what you like doing your hobby. Since you not spend money, you don't like fun so much. You don't like to spend on fun.
Well, at this stage of my life, no.
Okay, that means as time goes on, maybe.
Yes.
But I think music is fun in Rich Kids Day. Isn't it fun?
Yes.
So just tell us some of your hobbies or some things you like doing.
I'm a footballer. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a footballer. I play 11. That's the left flank forward.
I'm nodding.
you don't have any idea what it means?
Yeah, I think I have to find out.
See, among strikers, the people who stand on the left side of the pitch, they are the number 11.
Okay.
Okay, also, as you know, I play keyboard.
Yeah.
So most of my time, I'm in church, directing choir, learning the instruments. So when I'm stressed or I'm tense, I tend to music.
Do you sing yourself?
I'm not sure I sing.
You don't want to give us freestyle.
I'm not sure I sing. I don't sing.
Okay.
I don't sing. I can only direct. I can only tell you to do this and do that and achieve this.
Okay.
But my voice can't achieve it.
Okay.
But I will only achieve it with my fingers. So I think that's basically what I do. And I like watching documentaries, political documentaries. That's what I do as hobby.
Okay.
So I think I'm a boring person.
You're not.
I am. Because I don't have fun. I don't go out. Always
I
relax
think
myself.
like fun is subjective. Like, yeah.
But I think if you say it's subjective, in my view, what fun is to carry other people along with you.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be a one person something. So if at your leisure, what you do is about you alone, I'm not sure it's fun. Yes.
Okay, that's you. That's why I said subjective.
Yes,
Nice.
that's what I think.
Okay, thank you so much. So, thank you for your time. And I said this would be interesting because you're an interesting person and it was interesting. I'm sure our viewers will agree. So, if you agree, just like and share the video. It was an interesting session. I would like to. They will talk more after this.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so yeah, this was a wonderful session. And like the video. See you next time. Bye.